Most of the time when we're expressing ourselves through anger or sadness, it's because maybe we don't have the tools to really say what's really going on for real. You know what I mean? And I think that goes back to what you said in the beginning about like adult development, especially I'll just speak for myself. I said in the beginning, I didn't have parents with those resources because their parents weren't in their lives. So they were just focused on survival and providing and whatever. I am the first person in my family to graduate high school, go to college, let alone go to the NFL. My parents did a fantastic job. Let me get myself together and find the resources for emotional intelligence, problem solving, critical thinking. So now my kids don't got to worry about going outside and being in danger. Now I can give my kids the ability to critically think, sit with their emotions. You did wrong. You sit with that, etc., etc. So there is no. My belief is that there is no room for really pointing fingers because it is your life and you got to keep moving.
It's not.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, and I'm gonna stand by this. There are tools, there are resources, and there are people to talk to with the day and age that we live in now. Like your video popped up, and I was like, yes, this is exactly what we need, and that was a free tool by you being willing to share.
I say we all have access to information. Like there's no, and I'll tell you where my mind is going. Because we say, well, some people don't have access to therapy, right? Like that's, I think in the traditional sense, in terms of how we view therapy. But I mean, I have people telling me that my videos are like therapy because it's making them think, it's making them reflect. They like the questions that I'm posing. So I don't think that don't get me wrong, there are challenges, there are barriers that may make things much difficult for you. But I think that there's some universal truths in life. You are responsible for your life. Like 100%. At some point, you're going to tell your children the same thing. You are responsible for your life. And I think that those universal truths, we're trying to suppress those universal truths. By using this language now.
And I think that, again, we're not invalidating anybody who's been through like a really difficult time. And again, really difficult time could be subjective based on what it is, who you are. Like you told your therapist, my mom died. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was 11, she died. And she probably was like, what the hell? Yeah. Like people die every day, B.
It was death. That's how I felt. People die every day, B. And it wasn't the death. It was how she died. Because that was the story that I had created within my head. But by the time I went to therapy, I was no longer attached because I had became an adult myself. And I was like, whoa, like this is a lot. So like, because I was carrying that mental load.
100%. And again, I think that we're not invalidating anybody who's been through something really traumatic in their own sense and how they process it. I think I'll speak for myself and you can speak for yourself. What I'm saying is there is a way to get started, right? Like there's a way for you to get started with finding the right people to speak to, finding the right resources online, or taking time to yourself to see how you actually really, really feel about what's going on. I went through a time in my life where I questioned everything from how I was raised to the faith that I believed in to the way that I talked and whatever, but it was all because of I decided to look at it and not because somebody else told me to. And then when I was able to find the resources and the people and the things to read or explore the different religions or explore the different like ethnic backgrounds, explore the different slang, explore the different sport, etc., etc. I did the digging to figure out what is it that I believe in. And that question in itself, that curiosity is what brought me to, I would say capacity. I would say to have the capacity to realize that I can do this and whatever this is.
Yeah, I love how you talk about the curiosity aspect of your own journey, because when I hear curiosity, it's that I'm not just accepting that said you're this way because you grew up this way or your parents were this way, right? There are more nuances to it. And I think that when we are open to truly being curious, like you give your mind the ability to really explore, be imaginative, right? And a lot of people don't do, because we're not okay with discomfort, we're not okay with uncertainty, so it feels good to say I'm this way because of X. Like that feels good versus really having to lean into and figure out what it is that you want for your life and who it is that you ultimately want to become.
Yeah, it's a safe place. Like it's easy to like point at somebody and sit in that discomfort. Like I played sports all my life, and I knew that complacency is the enemy. But complacency is comfortable, and you have to be okay with being uncomfortable, because that's where real growth comes from. And I think that's when I think that's when there's expansion. You know what I mean? That's why I really feel it is.
I think that a lot of people too, because I talk about like you're not tired of being strong. I think that for some people, they don't like that statement because a lot of people don't feel like they've had a choice to choose strength. So I can understand strength being born out of necessity and not because life is going to test. It doesn't matter who you are. Like no one is exempt from adversity, right? But for the people that feel like they didn't get a choice, they usually take strength a little bit more personal than what other people may. So I understand that, but I still will stretch people in that sense as well, because not everybody is strong, right? Even if you think about the onset of mental illnesses, right? Some mental illnesses, they onset because people don't have the strength or the coping abilities to be able to navigate whatever it is. And before you know it, if you have a gene mutation or something within your DNA, now you're living with schizophrenia because you didn't have that ability. So I'm, and it's not positive thinking for me. I'm like, a strength is a strength. Like, how did a strength now become another way for us to victimize ourselves? Like, I will never, like, your strength is now being turned into a weak. Like, no, a strength is a strength. Like, let's not.